I'm 23 years old. I'm actually getting 23. I start my company ETK for two years ago actually. What I've been doing is actually for trading business, trading solutions. We're doing import and export services. So we provide our client for the sourcing until the logistic for the import business and export business. Already have office here in Beijing. The headquarters is actually in Beijing. We also register in Hong Kong. We have office as well in Europe and Africa. To be honest, I come from a business family background. So my parents have been doing business in the south of China, and since I was a kid, I have been also being like inspiring that by my dad and my uncles and everyone in the family. So I just feel that okay, I wouldn't want to work in the company, but I would more like able to want to start my own business, that I can have my own company and own team to work on the thing that I actually would like to do, not just in office, working the day from like I don't know, from like 9 to 5 o'clock and everything like that. I was working for one company called Group J. That's actually a architecture company. So what we were doing is more, because my boss was an architect and he's from France, we do a lot of work and everything. I was helping him in China to deal with clients and deal closing and clients negotiation meetings, translate meetings, follow up, etc., something like that. And I also work in exhibitions company. Actually, we provide exhibitions services to other companies, and I was being a sales sales employee in that company. At that moment, I was already have my company, in fact. But I was very lack of the experience in sales, so I decided to work on my company as a part-time and full-time in a company for sales in the sales position in order to get more sales experience, so that I can learn it from another company and have the strong knowledge and ideas about how the sales has to go and work, so that I can actually work on my own company for that. I start my company, I simply registered my company in Hong Kong as an international company, offshore company. It was also one thing I was able to do it by myself, because experience in the company, actually register company in China, in mainland, is very hard for a starter to do it, because we require a lot of paperwork and legal work, and also a bunch of investment. But for Hong Kong company, actually is very simple for me. I mean, I can have I don't need to prepare a lot of investments. I can have just sort of maybe a couple $1,000 US, then I can actually register the company already in Hong Kong, and that's why I prefer in Hong Kong, because less capital invest instead in China. And I start working on the website, and after the website, start launch my website into on the internet, and to also go on a B2B website to introduce my company and my service and myself to people in overseas. And I start getting a lot of different inquiries, that people who need help in China for their orders or for their cooperation with the Chinese suppliers and clients. So step by step, I start taking very, very small orders and deals to work with our overseas clients, based on like very little charge, just to gain the experience and also to help our client deal the business. And it went very good. So after that, our client see my services, he start introduce my services and company to other of his friends or companies. So that's how the company grow up like day by day, by references, and also by experience and teamwork, reputation, extra things like that. it was a hard time for me. How I finance my business is actually, for the first step, I wouldn't have any big capitals. So I did, as I has mentioned before, I also did some part-time job to support the finance on the company. In the meantime, I have different projects. That small project is actually giving the monthly expensive. Supporting the company's monthly expensive. I wouldn't have a luxury or big office like this. It was actually start from my my own room, actually own apartment in Beijing. So we have everything actually is ready. Only thing I need is actually my computer, internet, cell phones, and maybe a little business trip. But most of the business trip are paid by the client, so I wouldn't have issue with that. That was the beginning. Now we have different clients, so we have a monthly stable project and incomes coming. So that's why we have a support for the company and our team. So nowadays we have 10 people working in Beijing, and they have to go different, like business trip and go abroad. And we have office, and we still need a bigger office because this one's not enough. We are looking for one more. So now but of course we still need to look for new projects, for new investments. In the meantime, we also have represent different kind of products in China from overseas. So we being the representative here, we do have some financial support from our suppliers as well in the US, in France, and some in South Africa. The unit of my company in this industry is that we have international team, which is very important, that we speak different language. We have people speaking French, we have speaking English, Cantonese, Chinese. We have people also speaking in Spanish, and actually Arabic and Pakistani. So that's one thing of the unit for our company. So everyone is from the different part of the world, different countries. They have their cultures. So it's really easy for them to deal with their client in the local market. They have a culture understanding, so it's not a big problem for that. The understanding has no problem. In the meantime, they also have the legal understanding of a way of working and country custom legal, like the laws and everything like that. Another thing is in our company, the very unique thing compared to other companies in this industry is we work very honest, transparent, and open. We are more like a company's representative in China, basically like their Chinese office in China. We work on just like a team. We work with them together. We stand in the same line to deal their orders with their clients and their suppliers here. A lot of decision has to make. That's very very hard. And the management part, of course. I wasn't born in a business, blood, to be honest. I have to learn everything by myself. The most important thing and hard things for me was, how to be honest, how to set a team, how to manage it, and how to make the right decision, and also how to take a responsibility for the wrong decision I make. So I think that is very hard for entrepreneurs because everyone was actually in the company. Everyone's depend on you. Everyone's looking at you. Everyone's like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just working for you, but give me a decision. You give me the order and everything. But for me, it's really hard. I prefer to working as a team instead of being a boss and giving questions or giving orders to everyone. That they might think, okay, I don't want to take any responsibility for that. So the boss always have to do that, and that's actually one hard thing for me. But now it's just getting better because all our team is know how I do things and how I work. So we actually more working on the team cooperation with. So everyone have idea, everyone say, and if you disagree of what I say, then we can have a discussion, we have meeting and everything, to come up the like a final result and work on the the best. Actually, as an entrepreneur, especially as women's entrepreneur, I think is it being very tough, but it means a lot to our. I mean, it brings a lot to my life. I mean, having my own company, having my own team, having my own business to manage. When I was, it have to go back some history for my life in the past. I mean, I grew up in the, as I say, in the business family. I mean, business backgrounds and things like that, and we have a big families. However, in that group, only women's only staying at home, and like the Chinese culture sometimes, old cultures, everyone's staying at home, taking care of the kid, cooking for the husband, and it's really unacceptable for me. I'm not accepting that like that, and everyone is like only my cousin, my brothers, my dads, my uncles. They are the one that managing everything, having a power and right to say things in the family. So I think that moment I had a strong desires to say, okay, I want to be the one as well. I don't want to be the one that stay in the house and everything. And after years and years, study and years experience going through different things and hard times, good times. Finally, I have my own company, I have my own teams, and at least means to me is that I showing people that even though I'm a woman, I can do things I want. I can also do the same things that what you guys are doing. So it's not just that men can only do that. So I mean that one thing to show women's power is actually very mean to me, means a lot to me. And another thing is I open a business for my future. Actually, is more for the future dream that I want to do. Actually, for a very big dream that I want to do is to set up a charity fund. I mean, I understand that doing charity you need to gather a lot of people to work on that together, but still you need some very best foundation and finance support. So having a company and being the entrepreneurs for me is also one thing for that. In the future I will be able to at least help my company to start the process of the charity I want to do. Maybe probably for something like building a school, building a retirement house, helping people in the poor city, extra thing like that. So that's also one thing for me. My advice would be, if you think something and you really want to do it, you just go for it. Don't hesitate for that. Don't hesitate for anything, because you never know if you have the time for doing it. So go ahead, and don't afraid to fail down. Always stand up when you fail down, because the more you fail down, is actually the more close you go into the success. Going to successful.